If you guys have been buying bottled water, I don't care what kind of bottled water it is, plastic, glass, high end, low end, I'm about ready to turn your world upside down. This one kind of smacked me in the face. I was like, really? All of them? So I threw it by some community members. Yep. 100% true. So I dug up lots of information, lots of video resources, information we all should know about, and now I want to give it to you. And if you guys appreciate this type of informative information, please start this video off with a like. Lets me know that you guys like this type of information, and let's dive right in. Hey guys, my name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. And if you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most important, news and awareness that affects you, be sure to start this video off with a like, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date, and let's begin. Now, a couple videos that got me started off on this rabbit trail, and stick around because I've got a lot of juicy information, all very, very good information you guys need to know. And hang with me till after this because I'm about ready to tell you about how we absorb up to a credit card's weight, size, width of microplastics in our bodies in a matter of a week. The average human.
Bottled water is toxic for you. Here are 6 studies showing that. Number 1, there was a study at a fertility clinic. Women came in that were struggling to get pregnant, and the women that frequently drank bottled water were far less likely to get pregnant than the women that did not frequently drink bottled water. Number 2, in this study, they found that people that frequently drink bottled water had a far higher risk of developing or already had high blood pressure, gastric ulcers, diabetes, and kidney stones. Number 3, in this study, they just wanted to see what bottled water would do to healthy people, and they found that over the duration of the study, it increased everybody's risk for high blood pressure, and some people got really close to having high blood pressure. These were totally healthy young people. Scary. Number 4, they found an association between women that had cervical cancer. They also tended to be much more frequent consumers of bottled water. Bottled water in this study also increased your risk of diabetes. In a study that's about to be released, it has found that bottled water damages your internal organs and specifically your kidneys. So bottled water is your single largest dietary source of microplastics. There's not one other single food that has more microplastics than bottled water, okay? Even if it's bottled in glass, it gets microplastics even before it goes in the bottle. And then there's lots of other things that increase the amount of microplastics in that bottle. So what do? It's actually really, really simple. You are just going to get a water filter and filter your tap water. Okay? Filtering your tap water is exactly what the bottled water companies are doing. You just pay a lot of money for it. It is unequivocally cheaper to get a water filter than to drink bottled water for everything. When you get a water filter, and you can get ones that are really effective for under $100, I have a whole playlist on it. All you're going to do is filter your tap water, and then you're just going to put it in a glass cup, a mason jar, a stainless steel, whatever. It doesn't have to be fancy. Even using a plastic cup will be better than using a disposable plastic cup because that will leach less microplastics. And less microplastics is better than a lot that end up in your brain.
Now listen, this is about to get worse, and guaranteed if you guys watch through this whole video, you will probably never buy a bottled water again. The jury's out, the information's out, it's all in front of us, but it's for the people that are paying attention. You guys can go back on that video, snap a shot of each article and research it for yourself. Now, I know you guys are like, well, what do you do? I'll show you what I do here just a little bit further down in the video, especially when I'm not on the homestead where we've got the greatest well water in the world. Yes, I've got filtration that I feel like is a good bang for my buck. Now, when I came across this guy and he said that the average person absorbs the amount of microplastics that's the same size as the credit card in your wallet per week, I had to stop and think a minute. Now, if you guys don't know anything about microplastics, these things are small enough to get into your bloodstream, to get into your brain. Look it up. There's tons of studies that'll prove this to you, and I'll show you one of the studies right after this clip.
Why do we avoid bottled water?
The water isn't the problem. It's the bottle. And we're beginning to realize that these bottled waters, I mean, come on, I carry around bottled water all the time with me. All right. You're supposed to stay hydrated, right?
Right.
Okay. Any vacation you go to, you're getting a bottle of water in your hotel room. Turns out that now we realize that the bottled water, the bottles of plastic bottles are shedding microplastics into the water. So while we don't taste it, we're actually pouring plastic into our bodies. All right. Little tiny particles, plastic particles. And you know how much plastic we are ingesting on average every week?
No.
A credit card's worth of plastic.
Really?
Every week we're ingesting it. Now, listen, we've known this for some years, but and I used to be asked this all the time, what's the consequence of the plastic? And I used to, just only a few years ago say, we don't really know. It seems like it's probably okay. Our body must get rid of it somehow. Now we know just in the last 24 months that microplastics are detectable in the human body and they're associated with badness. It was a study that came out of Italy with neurologists and cardiologists that looked at people with clogged blood vessels, cardiovascular disease, in the large vessels that feed their brain, and they were narrowed down. And what they found is that when they took out the clog, right? So it's kind of like calling a plumber in to clean the drain. When they cleaned the drain and removed the plaque, the clogging of the blood vessels, they found that they could detect plastic embedded in the narrowing of blood vessels that would be feeding the brain. More importantly, they found a correlation. The people who had plastics embedded in their blood vessels had a 4 times increase in having a fatal heart attack or stroke.
Whoa.
Okay. That's serious stuff. Subsequently, we've actually discovered you can actually find plastic in the brain.
Folks, you can look this up. I've been seeing stuff pop up all the time because I'm always researching this stuff and it gives me recommendations that they're finding microplastics in the brain. Now, of course, me doing the work that you don't have to do, I do the research and find all of the nitty gritty. And sure enough, there is a plastic ingestion by people could be equating to the credit card. And of course, right here, University of Newcastle, plastic ingestion by people could be equating to a credit card a week. And this came out all the way back in 2019. How come people aren't awake to this until 2025? Are you kidding me? A new study finds on average people could be ingesting approximately 5 grams of plastic every week, which is the equivalent weight of a credit card. And just to summarize this entire article, it says plastic ingestion by people up to 5 grams per week. The weight of a credit card, source of analysis, no plastic in nature is the quote, report by Dahlberg, commissioned by the WWF, research conducted by University of Newcastle in Australia. Isn't that funny? If that's not on mainstream media, well, a little bit got onto the mainstream media. Let me show you what they put.
Now a new alarming study says water bottles are filled with hundreds of thousands of microplastics. These microscopic particles are small enough to enter the human bloodstream.
Tiny disruptors to our bodies may be in the water we drink because of what the water is in. Plastic. Columbia and Rutgers University researchers say they tested 3 popular brands of bottled water sold in the United States. They found, using laser technology, the average liter of a bottle of water has nearly 250,000 invisible nanoplastics. The study's lead author says that is 10 to 100 times more than previously believed. Chan said nanoplastics are believed to be more toxic since their smaller size makes them easier to get into our bloodstream and reach our vital organs. Dr. Kimberly Petrick from Kaiser in Santa Monica reiterated the important distinction.
Because they're so teeny, they might migrate through tissues of our digestive tract, lungs, and into our bloodstream.
Doctors say these plastics are estrogenics. They are omnipotent and potentially harmful.
Long term, it may contribute to diabetes, obesity, cancer, and fertility problems.
The study did not name which water bottle companies were examined, though Chan said they were sold at Walmart. For now, whether that's a bottle in the car or a microwave meal, doctors recommend we don't consume things, water or food, that have come in contact with hot plastic.
Like I said, if you guys continue to buy bottled water, I'm just saying there's enough information on the table for you guys to make a better decision. Now, I'll tell you the steps that I've taken to help against this, which gives me a very, very concrete sense of satisfaction. But before I show you, I gotta play one more video, and I'm talking about these are the poor souls that are just saying, trying to make a better decision on getting away from the pop, which comes with mega sugar, which has its own implications. But when they're at those fast food joints and just saying, I'll take water, I don't know which one's worse. Check this out.
Thank you. Do you know, is this just tap water?
Yeah, I believe, not sure.
Okay, I appreciate you. Yeah, we're testing it and finding out right now. Okay, so this is some of y'all's favorite restaurant. We're gonna use this new water tester I got off Tuck and just see how bad their water is. It might be good, actually. Okay, that's 100% tap water, if not worse. This is exactly why you need to be testing your water before you drink it, no matter where you're at. So many places, including our own tap water in our home, is not filtered. Make sure you get a filter and something to test your water when you're on the go. This is by far the easiest tool. You can clear it. You can actually set it on different modes to tell how good the water is, the temperature in terms of Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Folks, that's the people getting stuff from fast food. Yeah, just tap water, which has got about everything in it. And I've got the same little tester. They work really, really good. I've done it on all of the filtration systems that I use. And it's nice when you dip this guy in there and it says 0. It's detecting 0 things in that water, which you know you're just getting straight water. Anyway, I'll try to find one of these and stick it down in the description for you guys in case you want to pick one of those up. Now, for those of you that like more information on this, I've got a couple more videos I would love to show you. For those that have seen enough, like I get it, I get the picture. What do you use, Cohen? In other videos, I've always promoted SimPure water filtration, RO filters. They work really, really good. They got PPC, UV, RO, ALK. I mean, they've got about every filtration system in them. Also done videos on that style right up there on my little prepping shelf. And of course up in the kitchen, we've got the one underneath the cabinet, which is very, very ideal. But the styles I showed you can run off of a small power station in case the power goes out. And folks, these things have got all the filtration, UV, RO, everything that you want. And the nice thing is they come in at a really reasonable price compared to all of the crazy high-priced water filtration systems out there. And that's why I went with SimPure, is because you get a really, really nice high quality filtration system for a fair price. And across the board, pretty low for the value that you're getting. So I work with the company. They give me an affiliate link. I've worked with them for 2-3 years now. Very happy. Everyone that's bought them is very happy. And they give us a nice discount code for our community only. A couple other really good videos I want to show you, providing more information. And I also want to show you this real quick. This right here, this is a great article, talks about microplastics found in global bottled water. And I'm talking about 90% of bottled water sold worldwide. Anyway, I don't want to go through this entire article, but there's a ton of good information here. If you guys are digging this stuff, I got a couple more really good ones I'm just going to throw in there. I hate taking up so much of your time, but this is just such valuable information. And guys, if you're still with me, hang tight. There's an important part that affects you and your testosterone.
One of the most common sources of toxins in our daily lives that people might not be aware of.
Drinking water. People are unaware that tap water in general just is polluted. And to make things worse, people drink bottled water thinking it's better when it's actually not.
What are the kinds of toxins to be found in typical tap water?
Heavy metals, pesticides, fluoride, and other toxic substances that are the result of chlorination of water to disinfect. So disinfection byproducts, halogens, all sorts of different things, pharmaceutical drugs, hormones, industrial runoff. I mean, they try to filter as much of it out, and that's why the chlorination takes place, but that creates more toxic intermediates. In general, tap water is not the type of water you want to be drinking. If you look on a bottle of water that says purified water, that's actually just filtered tap water, but you're not really improving the quality or the purity much more than the tap water already was. So you still have a lot of pollutants and contaminants in there. And then the plastic bottle itself is releasing microplastics and endocrine disruptors and heavy metals into the water.
How do we rectify this situation? How do we reduce our exposure?
Invest in a water filter. At this point, there isn't much that we can do besides filter it. I have a reverse osmosis and I add mineral drops to my water.
I actually like that. Adding mineral drops, kind of important when you're just drinking straight water with nothing in it. And when I'm back on the homestead, I'm drinking that well water, got tons of minerals. Not a bad way to go about it. Now, this is another article I want to show you. This is just asking AI on what comes with microplastics when it comes in regards to harmful to human health. Researchers have connected microplastics in arteries and increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Ingested or inhaled microplastics can trigger inflammatory responses and oxidative stress, leading to chronic health issues. Microplastics are suspected to harm human reproductive, digestive, and respiratory health, with possible link to colon and lung cancer. They may contribute to male and female infertility, colon cancer, poor lung function, and chronic pulmonary inflammation. While laboratory tests show damage to human cells, large-scale epidemiologic studies are lacking. Look, folks, there's tons of information out there. Just painting a picture on the wall. This guy has a couple things to say to us about it.
This past January, stop drinking bottled water. If this doesn't convince you, I'm telling you, nothing will. This past January, scientists from Columbia University found that just 1 liter of bottled water contained on average almost 250,000 of nanoplastics. You know what that means? Massive hormone disruptor. Blocks hormone receptors or hormones from attaching to receptors. They're called xenoestrogens. They literally mimic estrogens. Ladies, that leads to cancer. Oh, men, you're not off the hook, because literally they talked about why it is lowering the average male testosterone levels. We are at the lowest point in all-time history. That causes obvious problems. The fact is, it also blocks the conversion of certain hormones. This is driving the hormone havoc, the epidemic that we're seeing. If you don't believe me, the scientists in the study, literally they made the claim that they are now never drinking out of plastic bottles again because of what they found. 250,000 nanomicroplastics, hormone disruptors. Stop drinking out of plastic bottles.
Have you guys heard enough? Am I getting the point across? Now, like I said, I promote SimPure because it's the best quality, cheapest outfit that I could find for you guys. And like I said, at the price point, I think the value per dollar is outstanding. And the fact that I've worked with them for a very long time, nobody complaining, tells me they're doing something right. But I don't want to come across like a salesman, just offering a solution. You guys find a really good RO type of style filter out there to do the job, that's the objective. As for the people that need a direction, got a link in the description and the pinned comment. Like I said, I'm not out of the woods. I've got bottled water out here stocked up for preparedness type reasons. Am I gonna get rid of it? No. I mean, if things hit the fan, I'm gonna need that water, and I'm not gonna be worried about microplastics and what it does to me over the next 5-10 years. It's for an emergency that's much greater than this type of emergency. So for those of you that got water stocked up, I wouldn't be like getting rid of it, but for your daily use, I'd make some changes now. Anyway, if you guys found some value to this, please do me a favor, share this out to more people. That's the one small thing that you guys can do to help out the community, build the community. Don't forget to hit a like if you found some value. It lets me know that whatever I'm doing here is bringing you guys some value. And of course, make sure that notification bell, subscribe button is still on, because it's magically disappearing on some of this stuff they just don't want people to know about. And stay tuned, because I got a lot more coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.